Recently, Jeopardy! Announced a new addition to its game show family. While it is a different format and updated topics, it attempts to draw more spectators to the lovable game. However, many fans don't see the new variety as a good direction. Some believe it is tampering with the defining characteristics of the traditional game show. Likewise, they feel like it is dumbing down the otherwise challenging show. Over the years, the popular game show has brought in spin-offs that highlight the brand. Recently, Jeopardy! Introduced Inside Jeopardy! Live on tour, which has fans excited to see Jennings and several key speakers in person. But this isn't the only way the Jeopardy! Family is growing. Now, they are pushing the envelope by entering the streaming world. Although some Jeopardy! Fans are excited to see this newbie addition join the streaming world, others are highly critical. While the executive producers are making a deal with Amazon Prime Video, the content and format is a shift from the traditional show. Undoubtedly, the spotlight isn't threatened for the 60-year-old game show that will continue as usual. However, the streaming version is attempting to broaden the categories and offers themes for a pop culture spin-off. Notably, for the first time, the game show will be available for viewers worldwide once it premieres on the Amazon Prime Video streaming service. According to Suzanne Preet, president of game shows Sony Pictures Television, fans can expect a fun-loving rendition of the old-school show. She says, with a team-based approach and pop culture focus, our global Prime Video customers will exclusively experience this innovative spin on Jeopardy! While testing their knowledge on topics that both define and transcend generations. Then she adds, we couldn't be more thrilled to collaborate with our partners at Amazon to make Prime Video the home for our new Jeopardy! Spin-off series. After the big announcement, fans' responses varied. However, some staunch supporters were less than happy to see the direction of the newest series. Undeniably, some are saddened by the team-oriented move and the watered-down content. But others accept the change as a positive so they can feel a little smarter. The dumbing down of Jeopardy! Excellent. It's basically a version of Jeopardy! For the less intelligent, LOL. I am a huge Jeopardy! Nerd, and I hate this tea. Okay, this is my kind of Jeopardy! That show always makes me feel so dumb, but this one is right up my alley. Although the new series has several unknowns, like who will host, it promises to scratch the itch that Jeopardy! Fans didn't realize they had. Furthermore, Suzanne Preet talks about the upcoming series with a sparkling disposition. She says, with Michael Davis at the helm, pop culture Jeopardy! Is going to be a nail-biter for game show enthusiasts who can expect to see teams competing at the highest level of Jeopardy! Combined with a fresh twist of pop culture Olympics for the mind. It's going to be a must-watch for longtime viewers and new fans alike. For decades, Jeopardy! Has stood as one of the most iconic and revered game shows in television history. Known for its intellectual rigor, challenging trivia, and unique format, it has earned a loyal following of fans who appreciate the show's educational value and sharp-minded contestants. However, with the introduction of a Jeopardy! Spinoff that many fans consider to be a deviation from the original formula, the beloved trivia show is facing an unexpected wave of criticism. Fans have been vocal in their disapproval, accusing the new spin-off of dumbing down the game, making it less about intellectual challenge and more about entertainment value. The spin-off that divided fans. In an effort to keep the Jeopardy! Franchise fresh and appealing to a broader audience, the show's producers launched a spin-off titled Jeopardy! Now, the premise of this new format was to simplify the traditional Jeopardy! Game, focusing on fast-paced gameplay and easy-to-understand questions that could appeal to casual viewers. The goal was to attract a younger demographic and those unfamiliar with the show's classic format. Jeopardy! Now reworked the traditional format by shortening the rounds, reducing the complexity of the questions, and introducing themes and categories that were more mainstream, such as pop culture, social media trends, and viral phenomena. The spin-off featured more celebrity appearances and game mechanics designed to be more visually engaging. While this approach certainly made the game more accessible to a general audience, it did not take long before fans of the original Jeopardy! Began to voice their displeasure. The criticism, A shift in tone. Many Jeopardy! Enthusiasts, especially those who have followed the show for years, were quick to express their disappointment with the spinoff. The primary complaints centered around the simplification of the questions. Longtime fans of the show have come to expect a certain level of difficulty, where contestants are challenged with obscure facts, deep historical knowledge, and advanced concepts. The idea of reducing the intellectual complexity of the game struck a sour note with a large portion of the audience. Jeopardy! Is about knowledge, not just knowing what's trending on Twitter, said one frustrated fan on social media. The essence of the show has always been to educate and challenge the viewers, not to pander to them with easy pop culture questions. Another user echoed similar sentiments, criticizing the spin-off for focusing too heavily on entertainment value at the expense of the core values that made the original show a classic. Jeopardy! Was never supposed to be a game show for just anyone. It was for people who actually wanted to learn, challenge themselves, and think critically. The spin-off is just dumbing it down for the masses. The issue with simplification, one of the most significant changes in the Jeopardy! Now format is the drastic reduction in the difficulty of questions. Categories that once covered complex topics like advanced physics, historical figures, and world capitals are now replaced with more accessible themes. Categories like what's trending on Instagram, viral videos, and modern-day influencers dominate the game, which many fans find to be a stark contrast to the show's long-standing reputation for intellectual rigor. The simplified questions are often focused on contemporary culture, such as the latest reality TV stars, viral memes, and internet celebrities. While these topics may be engaging for a younger audience, fans who have been loyal to the show for decades argue that they take away from the depth of knowledge that Jeopardy! Traditionally offered. The easy questions may appeal to a broader audience, but they do not challenge viewers in the same way that the original format did. In contrast to the cerebral nature of the main show, where contestants often face obscure and niche topics, Jeopardy! Now seems to prioritize buzzer-happy, quick-fire gameplay over the intellectual stimulation that made the original show so compelling. It's not just the contestants that feel the shift. Fans watching at home are also left feeling underwhelmed by the lack of substantial questions and the emphasis on fast-paced, entertaining gameplay. I remember when I watched Jeopardy! To learn something new, to challenge myself, said one fan on Reddit. Now it feels more like a game of who can hit the buzzer first, with no real substance behind it. It's just so disappointing. Impact on viewership and reception. While the producers of Jeopardy! Now likely anticipated that the new format would resonate with a younger audience, the reaction has been mixed at best. Ratings for the spin-off initially saw a bump, as the flashy visuals and simplified questions drew in casual viewers. However, this early success didn't last long, as many fans who had tuned in for nostalgia and intellectual challenge found themselves tuning out after a few episodes. The rapid decline in ratings has been especially telling, and many experts speculate that the novelty of the spin-off is wearing off. People are getting tired of the gimmicks, said television analyst John Walker. They came for Jeopardy! But got something that barely resembles it. When you take away the intellectual challenge, you lose the core of what makes Jeopardy! Special. Despite the backlash, the producers of the show have continued to defend the new format, claiming that the spin-off is designed to appeal to a broader and more diverse audience. They argue that the lighter approach allows more viewers to engage with the show and feel like they can participate, even if they don't have the encyclopedic knowledge required to succeed in the traditional Jeopardy! Format. The impact on contestants. One of the more subtle aspects of the criticism surrounding Jeopardy! Now is the effect the new format has on contestants. In the traditional Jeopardy! Format, contestants were often expected to have a wide breadth of knowledge and to demonstrate deep expertise in various fields. It was a show that rewarded intellectual prowess, and the contestants were often seen as scholars in their own right.